it's Jo. Welcome back to Trauma Talk. I'm going to talk today about one of my favorite things to talk about. I don't think I've talked about on this channel yet, which is the cult of positive thinking. It's not really a cult, but sometimes it feels like it is. And I think positive thinking is sometimes really destructive. Now, before I lose you, mindset is incredibly powerful. How we think about things, having positive thoughts versus negative thoughts, or a positive outlook versus a negative outlook, changes the course of days and weeks and months and lives. I am a huge believer in having an optimistic mindset, working towards it, I should say, because I'm kind of, I'm not a gloomy person, but, I don't have the most upbeat view of the world. But there is such a message in our culture about positive thinking. Like, think positive. You've got to have positive thoughts if you're going to have a positive life and like all of this stuff, right? Here's what people forget to mention. That can be a mask. That can be just a band-aid that people slap over what needs to actually be addressed and worked through. Like, it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a hard time. But going a little bit deeper, specifically when it comes to working through the things that really hurt, when it comes to working through trauma and grief, we cannot move forward. We can't progress. We can't get through things if we do not grieve them, if we do not feel them. We can't forgive if that's a goal in our journeys, if we cannot feel it. And we don't do that with the power of positive thinking alone. Feeling things involves deep sadness and grief and rage and anger and confusion. I mean, just like the whole range of human emotions, right? And I think when people are uncomfortable with either their own emotions or our emotions, it's easy to slap a label of, oh, you just need to think positive on it. I know that that's reactions that I've gotten before when I'm having a hard time and expressing it and not faking it. And I'm sure that you've gotten that reaction as well. And there's a million books in bookstores and self-help sections about the power of positive thinking. And again, I believe in working towards having a positive mindset. And I'll probably do a different video about the difference someday. But forcing yourself to think positively, to think good thoughts, when you are having a hard time, when you need to dive in to the depths of pain to move forward, is not good. It's just avoidance. It's just masking things. And that is bad. That is actively working against moving forward. And I dislike it when people just preach, like, just think positive thinking. You've just got to pull yourself back up, have happy thoughts, just smile more, whatever it is, because that's not how we get to a better place. I'm not sure if this is a direct quote by Brené Brown or paraphrased, but I've been reading her book, Rising Strong, which is an incredible book. I could not recommend it enough to you. Sorry if the light's a little funny. There's sun coming in right now. But she says that we cannot heal if we cannot grieve, and we cannot forgive if we cannot grieve, and that is so true. How are you supposed to move through something if you do not feel it? How are we supposed to forgive someone if you don't recognize what they've done, if you don't recognize the hurt? You can't do that. It's literally impossible. And so I am a big believer in real thinking, in realistic thinking, in what would be a better way of saying this? In being real with your emotions. I'm a work in progress on this, let me tell you, because feeling things is really difficult and really challenging. But the more we make peace with our emotions, the easier they are to feel and then let pass and let go on their way. So if you are in the mindset that if I'm thinking anything negative or bad or angry or sad or whatever, that sometimes I'm failing or I'm not a positive person or whatever, that's not true. It's really not true. You're not a negative person because you're having a negative thought, or you're not a negative person because you are grieving something or enraged about something that you should be enraged about. It's part of the healing process. It's part of the grieving process. It's part of living through trauma and the aftermath of trauma. So please don't adhere to what I like to call the cult of positive thinking and thinking you always have to think positive things. I try to be an optimistic person. I try to be a positive person. And I fully believe that life is worth living and beautiful and awesome and also terrible and violent and painful. I think we have to hold both of those things in our hands to live realistic lives. That's just my own personal opinion. Please feel free to disagree with me on that. But I just guess I wanted to say that feel free to think what you want to think and feel what you need to feel, because that is how we heal. That is how we get to a better place. What do you think about this? Have you adhered to this sort of wave of positive thinking, and has it helped you? Do you disagree with my thoughts on it? I would love to hear if you do, because I really like it when people disagree with me and think differently. Or have you had a similar experience where positive thinking is a way to silence people, or what people say when they tend to be uncomfortable with emotion? Let me know in the comments section, and I will talk to you there. I'll also see you the day after tomorrow when I release the next video. I talk every other day about life after trauma and living with mental illness, and I would love to see you in that video. So hit subscribe before you leave, or like if you're on Facebook, and I can't wait to see you then. Thanks guys, please take care of yourself.